An Alabama district attorney dismissing a manslaughter charge against a woman who lost her baby when she was shot. Last year, Marsha Jones was 5 months pregnant when she got into a fight with another woman in a parking lot. That woman pulled out a gun, shot Jones. Her unborn baby was killed. Jones was arrested last week after a grand jury concluded she intentionally caused the death of her fetus.
On a lively Saturday night in downtown Miami, a group of friends gathered to enjoy music, laughter, and the vibrant energy the city is famous for. Among them was 28-year-old Gladys Borcela, a mother of 3 who loved life and knew how to light up any room she entered. But that night, something unimaginable happened. What began as a joyful celebration ended in heartbreak and tragedy. Gladys lost her life in a shocking incident that took place inside an Uber. The same bustling streets where she had spent her night dancing and smiling became the scene of her untimely death. Her family and friends were left devastated, struggling to understand how such a horrifying event could happen. What happened in that Uber ride? Why did a night filled with joy and laughter turn so dark? As the details of that evening unfolded, the story shocked everyone who heard it. To know Gladys Borcela is to know a woman who loved fiercely and lived joyfully. She was more than just a mother. She was the glue that held her family together. Her 3 children adored her, and she worked hard every single day to give them the life they deserved. For her friends, she was a beacon of light, someone who could turn any bad day into a good one with her infectious smile and vibrant personality.
As many people here showing it right here in this spot right now. Her kids do miss her. This is what hurts me the most too.
In the bustling nightlife of Miami, tragedy struck in the unlikeliest of places, a crowded Uber ride. This true crime story unravels the shocking events leading to the untimely death of 28-year-old Gladys Yvette Borcela, a beloved mother of 3, known for her infectious smile and vivacious spirit. What began as a night of celebration ended in a fatal confrontation that has captivated and horrified the nation. Join us as we delve into the intricate details of this harrowing case, piecing together the moments that led to Gladys's tragic demise. We'll explore the heated altercation between Gladys and 24-year-old Natalia Harrell, a young woman 6 weeks pregnant, whose actions on that fateful night would lead to a controversial and unprecedented legal battle. Through eyewitness accounts, surveillance footage, and courtroom drama, we'll uncover the motives and circumstances that transformed a night out into a life-shattering incident. Natalia's defense argues that she acted in self-defense, fearful for her life and the life of her unborn child. However, the prosecution paints a picture of a calculated and disproportionate response. As the trial unfolds, an unexpected twist emerges. Should Natalia's unborn child, innocent and uncharged, be considered in the legal proceedings? This complex and emotionally charged case raises profound questions about justice, self-defense, and the rights of the unborn. As we navigate through the gripping courtroom scenes and hear from the devastated family left in the wake of this tragedy, we invite you to ponder the far-reaching implications of this case. Should Natalia face the death penalty? Should her unborn child be freed? This disturbing story will leave you questioning everything. So, without further delay, let's begin.
Stop! You play with me. Why do you have to you play with me,
Oh, come on, get out the car. You gotta get out the car now.
Oh my God, like why the would you do that? Girl.
Gary, get in the car. Gary, get in the car! Get it!
Give me my purse. Give me my phone. My purse is in here. Like why the would you do that? Give me my phone. Your phone.
Born and raised in Miami, Gladys had a strong connection to her community. People spoke fondly of her generosity and her warm heart. She was the kind of person who would go out of her way to help others, even if it meant putting herself second. Her family and friends would tell you that her love for her children came first. Everything she did, every choice she made, was to ensure her kids felt loved and cared for. That Saturday night, like so many before it, was supposed to be a time for Gladys to unwind and enjoy herself. She deserved it. After spending her days juggling work and motherhood, this was her chance to recharge. She had made plans to meet her friends at the Clevelander Hotel and Bar, a lively spot in South Beach known for its music and good vibes. Gladys was in her element that night. She danced, laughed, and let her worries melt away. Friends said she was radiant. Her joy was contagious, and people gravitated toward her. But while she was having fun, there was someone else in the group who wasn't as happy. 24-year-old Natalia Harrell had joined the outing. She was 6 weeks pregnant and, according to witnesses, had been growing tense as the night progressed. When Gladys's lively personality attracted attention from a group of men at the bar, Natalia became irritated. At one point, she sent a text to a friend saying, "Get your girl under control." Despite Natalia's unease, the group decided to keep the night going. When the Clevelander closed, they made their way to the Urban, another popular venue in Miami's Overtown neighborhood. Gladys, still full of life, laughed and danced, enjoying every moment. Meanwhile, Natalia's frustration continued to simmer. At the Urban, tensions between the two women began to grow. Natalia, known for having a short temper, was upset by how Gladys interacted with the men in their group. While others may not have noticed the tension, Natalia felt it deeply, and her irritation only intensified. When the club finally closed, the group called for an Uber to continue their night elsewhere. The car, a sleek black Cadillac Escalade, pulled up, and everyone piled inside. Gladys and Natalia ended up seated close to each other in the back row. What should have been a simple ride quickly turned into a disaster. The two women began to argue. At first, it was just words, sharp exchanges that could have been dismissed. But as the argument escalated, Natalia's anger boiled over. She warned Gladys, "You don't want this. You don't want me to go in my purse." In the tight confines of the car, the mood turned dark. Natalia's words weren't just a threat, they were a promise. Before anyone could react, she reached into her purse, pulled out a black handgun, and fired a single shot.
If you want to get up, touch me, hold on, break up, hold on, go there to the front, hold on, because I will air you. Go ahead, hold on. You want me to air you to the what? You want me to air you to the what?
Don't do that.
Let me get to the what?
Don't do that.
Let my hand go.
No, it's okay, please.
Get off my hand.
I'm not trying.
Girl,
I'm not trying.
get off me side. I ain't done. I'm done talking. Let's get crazy.
I'm not trying to get aggressive.
Get off my head.
I'm not trying to get aggressive with you. I just don't want no issue.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I don't want no
Okay.
We were literally almost at the house.
Don't ever bring about no bust all my name in your life, bro. Oh God. I'm far from drunk. Okay. I'm far from drunk. Can you let me go, bro? I'm not doing shit. I'm not even doing shit. Let me go.
I'm not.
Hi, Gigi. Hi. You said, what I said in your mouth. Oh, so you finna leave with these children. Oh, you went up. You went up, dummy. One.
The sound of the gunshot echoed through the car. Chaos erupted. Passengers screamed, panicked, and scrambled to escape. The Uber driver, in shock, pulled over on Southeast 1st Avenue, opening the door as the passengers bolted from the vehicle. Natalia herself fled the scene, leaving behind the aftermath of her actions. Inside the car, Gladys was gravely wounded. The bullet had struck her in the stomach, and she was losing blood fast. The Uber driver, still shaken, called for help. Emergency responders arrived quickly, but it was too late. Gladys was rushed to Jackson Memorial Hospital's trauma center, where doctors tried desperately to save her. Despite their efforts, she was pronounced dead.
Oh, get out the car. You gotta get out the car now.
Oh my God, like why the would you do that? Girl.
Gary, get in the car. Gary, get in the car. Get it.
Give me my purse. Give me my phone, not purse in here. Like why the would you do that? I'm not talking.
Your phone. Here's your phone. Here's your phone. Here's your phone.
My phone is ready.
Okay.
The news of Gladys's death sent shockwaves through her family and friends. For a mother so full of life to be taken so suddenly and violently was unimaginable. Her 3 children were now left without their mother, and her family was left to grapple with a loss that made no sense. The Uber driver later recounted the chaotic scene to police. He described how the argument had started small, but quickly escalated. According to him, Natalia's demeanor changed as her frustration with Gladys grew. Witnesses backed up the account, saying that Natalia's anger had been building throughout the night and reached its breaking point in the car. Surveillance footage from the Uber confirmed what witnesses described. The video showed Gladys and Natalia arguing, with Natalia issuing her chilling warning about her purse. The video also captured the moment Natalia calmly retrieved her weapon and fired. Her actions appeared deliberate, a stark contrast to the chaos that followed.
Harold, however, is facing a second-degree murder charge, and it stems from this incident in an Uber last summer. The Uber driver's security camera captures Harold in a heated argument with another passenger, Gladys Yvette Borcela. According to the lawsuit, Harold is pregnant and was in fear for her life, so she fired a single round, killing Borcela. The lawsuit goes on to say that Harold...
After the shooting, Natalia fled the scene along with 5 other passengers. None of them stayed behind to help Gladys, leaving her alone in the back seat of the Uber. The image of Gladys's lifeless body in that car haunted those who loved her. After the tragic death of 28-year-old Gladys Borcela, authorities arrested 24-year-old Natalia Harold, charging her with second-degree murder. The case against Natalia was built on a combination of witness testimonies, surveillance footage, and the brutal nature of the crime. However, the legal battle that followed would not only focus on her actions that night, but also on an unusual and unprecedented defense centered around the rights of her unborn child. The key piece of evidence in the case was surveillance footage from inside the Uber. The video, which was later presented in court, captured the moments leading up to the shooting. It showed Gladys and Natalia arguing, their voices tense and sharp. While the argument seemed heated, nothing suggested it would end in violence, until Natalia reached into her purse.
Harold, however, is facing a second-degree murder charge, and it stems from this incident in an Uber last summer. The Uber driver's security camera captures Harold in a heated argument with another passenger, Gladys Yvette Borcela. According to the lawsuit, Harold is pregnant and was in fear for her life, so she fired a single round, killing Borcela. The lawsuit goes on to say that Harold...
The footage showed Natalia's calm and deliberate movements as she retrieved a handgun. Witnesses described her demeanor as unnervingly composed, even as the shot rang out and chaos erupted inside the vehicle. The prosecution used this to argue that Natalia's actions were not impulsive but calculated. They emphasized how she fled the scene afterward, leaving Gladys behind to die, as evidence of her disregard for human life. The defense, however, painted a different picture. Natalia's attorney argued that she had acted in self-defense, fearing for her safety and that of her unborn child. According to the defense, Gladys had allegedly lunged at Natalia during the argument, prompting her to act in fear and panic. She pleaded not guilty, Natalia's attorney stated during the trial. She was pregnant, she knew she was pregnant, and she feared for her life. This self-defense argument rested on the claim that Natalia believed she had no other option but to protect herself and her unborn child.
She was fearful that this woman was going to do something to her. She launched herself towards my client, and my client reacted.
The state fired back, responding that the petition filed on behalf of the unborn child should be dismissed.
However, the prosecution countered this argument by highlighting the disproportionate nature of Natalia's response. While the argument between the two women had become heated, prosecutors maintained that it did not justify the use of lethal force. They pointed to the video evidence, which showed no clear physical threat to Natalia before she pulled the trigger. The legal debate over whether Natalia's actions were a reasonable reaction or a deliberate act of violence became the center of the courtroom drama. As the trial unfolded, another, more complex legal issue arose, one that would spark nationwide debate. Natalia Harold's defense team took an unexpected approach to her case by invoking the rights of her unborn child. At the time of her arrest, Natalia was 6 weeks pregnant. By the time the trial was underway, she was nearing her 3rd trimester, and her legal team argued that her incarceration was harming the fetus.
Ms. Harold has been accused. There's no question about the accusation. She's been denied bond. There's no question about that.
The question attorney William Norris is raising is whether the unborn child of inmate Natalia Harold, who's charged with second-degree murder, should remain in jail with its mother. It's an unusual and unprecedented stance, but Norris, who represents the unborn child, says it's a fair one.
An unborn child is a person. The person has constitutional rights, and one of them is the right not to be deprived of liberty without due process of law.
The unborn child is a person, Norris stated. A person with constitutional rights who should not be deprived of liberty without due process of law.
She was fearful that this woman was going to do something to her. She launched herself towards my client, and my client reacted.
The state fired back, responding that the petition filed on behalf of the unborn child should be dismissed.
The petition claimed that Natalia had not received adequate prenatal care while in custody, and that the conditions of her incarceration posed a danger to her pregnancy. It demanded the release of both Natalia and her unborn child, suggesting that she be placed under house arrest to ensure proper medical attention. This legal argument was unprecedented and sparked heated debate. On one side, supporters of the petition argued that the fetus's rights should be protected, as it was innocent of any crime. On the other side, critics viewed the move as a legal loophole designed to benefit Natalia, rather than the unborn child. In response to the petition, Miami-Dade Corrections and Rehabilitation issued a statement defending their practices. They assured the public that all inmates, including pregnant women, received timely and professional medical care. We partner with Jackson Health System to provide health care to the inmates in our custody, the statement read. We are conducting a full review of the health services offered to ensure that all prenatal care being provided is appropriate.
Corrections and Rehabilitation partners with Jackson Health System to provide health care to the inmates in our custody, and we're committed to ensuring all inmates receive professional, timely medical care and all appropriate treatment. We're conducting a full review of the health services offered and received to ensure that all prenatal care being provided in our custody is appropriate.
The prosecution dismissed the defense's claims as a diversion from the facts of the case. They argued that Natalia's unborn child, while innocent, was not entitled to special treatment that would allow Natalia to avoid accountability for her actions. They also pointed out that any concerns about prenatal care could be addressed through existing protocols without requiring Natalia's release. The pain of losing someone you love is unbearable, but for the family of 28-year-old Gladys Borcela, the grief was compounded by the violent nature of her death. The mother of 3 was taken from her children in an instant, leaving a hole that no words could ever fill. A few days after the tragedy, family and friends gathered at the site of the shooting for a vigil to honor Gladys. Purple balloons, her favorite color, floated in the air, a symbol of her vibrant spirit and the love she had shared with everyone around her. Candles flickered in the dark as tears flowed freely, and people spoke about the joy she had brought into their lives.
A South Florida woman killed inside an Uber during a night out in downtown Miami. The question now, what happened in that ride?
Loved ones leaning on one another for strength and bringing dozens of balloons in Borcela's favorite color, purple, to the scene of the shooting. The victim's mother speaking out despite the pain.
She was loved. As many people here showing it right here in this spot right now. Her kids do miss her. This is what hurts me the most.
She was loved, said Gladys's mother, her voice shaking with emotion. Her kids miss her, and that's what hurts me the most. Surrounded by supporters, she stood strong, but the pain in her eyes was undeniable. Gladys had been her rock, her light, and now she was gone. Her 3 children, too young to fully understand the tragedy, were left without the mother who had loved and cared for them so deeply. Friends and family recalled how Gladys had worked tirelessly to provide for her kids, always putting their happiness and well-being first. She was the kind of mother who would do anything for her children, one friend shared. Her life revolved around them. For her family, the loss wasn't just emotional, it was also practical. Who would fill the void Gladys left behind? Who would guide her children, comfort them, and show them the unconditional love only a mother can provide? As the vigil continued, more people stepped forward to share memories of Gladys. Friends spoke of her infectious laughter, her ability to turn any bad day into a good one, and her unwavering kindness. She had a way of making everyone feel special, a friend said, holding back tears. While the vigil was a chance for the community to grieve together, it was also a call for justice. She didn't deserve this, her mother said firmly. We want justice for Gladys, She was a mother, a daughter, a sister. She didn't deserve to die like this. The vigil ended with the release of the purple balloons, rising into the night sky as everyone watched in silence. It was a moment of peace, but it couldn't erase the heartbreak or the anger. For Gladys's family, the fight for justice was just beginning. As the case against Natalia Harrell unfolded, the courtroom became the stage for a legal battle that captured national attention. Natalia, charged with second-degree murder, faced a possible life sentence if convicted. The trial was emotional and intense, with both sides presenting compelling arguments about what had happened that fateful night. Witnesses who had been in the Uber that night testified about the confrontation between Gladys and Natalia. They described how the argument started as a verbal exchange but quickly escalated. They were yelling at each other, one witness said. It just kept getting louder and more heated. The surveillance footage from the Uber became a crucial piece of evidence. It showed the two women arguing in the back seat, with Natalia issuing a chilling warning. "You don't want me to go in my purse." Moments later, she pulled out a handgun and fired a single shot, striking Gladys in the stomach. The defense argued that Natalia had acted in self-defense, fearing for her life and the life of her unborn child. Her attorney claimed that Gladys had lunged at her during the argument, leaving her with no choice but to protect herself. She was scared, her lawyer stated. She knew she was pregnant, and she believed she was in danger.
She was fearful that this woman was going to do something to her. She launched herself towards my client, and my client reacted.
The state fired back, responding that the petition filed on behalf of the unborn child should be dismissed.
To support their case, the defense focused on Natalia's state of mind. They portrayed her as a young woman overwhelmed by fear and panic, reacting in the heat of the moment to protect her unborn baby. However, the prosecution painted a very different picture. They emphasized Natalia's calm demeanor in the moments leading up to the shooting, as seen in the video footage. This was not a split-second decision, the prosecutor argued. This was a deliberate and calculated act. The prosecution also highlighted Natalia's actions after the shooting. Rather than staying to help or calling for assistance, she fled the scene along with the other passengers. "She left Gladys to die," the prosecutor said. "That is not the behavior of someone acting out of fear. It's the behavior of someone who knows they've done something wrong." The emotional toll on Gladys's family was evident throughout the trial. Her mother attended every session, her face etched with grief and determination. "We just want justice for my daughter," she said during a break in the proceedings. "She didn't deserve this." After days of testimony and hours of deliberation, the jury reached a verdict: guilty of second-degree murder. The courtroom was silent as the decision was read, the weight of the moment hanging heavy in the air. For Gladys's family, the verdict brought some measure of closure but not true healing. "Nothing will bring her back," her mother said tearfully, "but at least we know she got justice." Natalia's sentencing marked the end of a trial that had been filled with emotion, controversy, and difficult questions about self-defense and accountability. The court ruled that her actions were not justifiable and that the use of lethal force in that situation was a reckless and unjustifiable response. In the weeks following the trial, the community continued to support Gladys's family. Fundraisers were held to help provide for her children, and memorials celebrated her life and legacy. People shared stories of her kindness, her laughter, and the joy she brought to those around her. While the trial was over, the impact of that night would linger for years to come. For Gladys's family, every day without her was a painful reminder of the life stolen from them. And for the community, her story served as a heartbreaking reminder of how quickly things can turn tragic. Justice had been served, but the scars left behind would never fully heal.